Well, this is Spielbuch video number 9. Sorry. Yeah, this is Spielbuch video number 9, and it's the second last video of Spielbuch tunes. And I'm going to feature this violin, which is in some ways the most interesting violin I have. It's the oldest too. It was made in 1760. It was made in Prague, in the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and it was made by a man called Jan Ulrich Eberle. He was born in 1699 in the Austrian Tyrol, but he moved up to Prague as a young man to learn the trade of the making of stringed instruments, at which he became extremely expert. His teacher was one Thomas Edlinger. He was well taught, and he established a good career for himself in Prague, and he died in 1768, 8 years after this violin was made. Now in 1760, Mozart was 1, and of course, as an adult and as a celebrated composer, he came to Prague, which is a city he loved because, well, apart from that, it's a lovely city. Also, he was popular there, more so actually than in Vienna. And so Mozart liked it. And it'd be nice to think that at some concert or rehearsal or something, with a court orchestra or the opera orchestra, Mozart might even have seen this violin in amongst the players playing away there. Who knows? It would be nice. Provenance with older violins can be extremely interesting, and I do actually know one more thing about this violin, which I'll tell you in a moment or two. But I'm going to play 3 old tunes. I'll probably say that in between the second and the third. 3 old tunes on this violin, not Spielbuch tunes, more things which are perhaps more in keeping with the time in which this violin was made. I will do a Spielbuch tune at the end. The first is a Gavotte by Bach, and it's a very well-known piece. Bach died 10 years before this violin was made. Well, the second tune is quite different in character. It's by Arcangelo Corelli, and it's an adagio. It's lento e grave, slowly and rather solemnly. A lovely tune, but indeed solemn. I said I'd say something about the violin's history. Well, it was bought from a London auction online, which is all a bit risky because all you have are photographs of the instrument and a condition report from the auctioneer, though they're usually quite reliable. But I did buy it and it was a success. It is a success. And with it, on the listing, there were various documents relating to its past life. Well, only one aspect of it, really. And one was this. This is an envelope, as you can well see, but it's rather a surprising one because it is addressed to Mr. Domenico Franco, 247 Liberty Avenue, Brooklyn 8, New York City. And inside there is a receipt from Giovanni Longiaru, who was a dealer and a violin maker in New York. There is the receipt. Okay, that's one thing. There are various other things. I'll show you one more. Another envelope, a bigger brown envelope. There it is, but the same man, Domenico Franco, same address. And inside this envelope, there is this rather splendid certificate of guarantee with a big gold stamp. There it is. And this attests to the fact that Giovanni Longiaru sold this violin. He is guaranteeing that it is genuine. It is by Jan Ulrich Eberle. Longiaru was an expert and he made very good violins. Anyway, I'm going to read some of this. He was a dealer and appraiser of violins, violas and cellos. He was a maker of fine violins. His establishment was at 74 West 50th Street, New York City. The certificate gives the measurements of the violin, 36 centimetres long, 17 centimetres wide and so on. That's the upper bouts, that's the upper part of the violin. The lower bouts are usually a little different. The date is the April the 9th, 1956. So this violin from Prague spent some time at least in busy, bustling, noisy New York in the mid-20th century. Mr. Longiaru, I see, has won gold medals at various exhibitions, he says that as well. And he has said a whole lot about the violin, which is quite difficult to read, but you can, if you take time. Anyway, that's all very interesting. So, now we go on to the last tune. No, it's not the last tune, it's the last old tune. I'm going to play one after that. And it's an aria, very, very nice aria by Pietro Locatelli, who died 4 years after this violin was made. apologies for a slight stumble over one note somewhere in the middle there. Anyway, I hope the rest of it was all right. Now this is supposed to be a Spielbuch video. There are only a couple of tunes left, and they're 20th century and sort of quirky tunes, so I decided to go for older things to start with. But this fan, of course, can play anything. So we're going to have a scherzo by Alec, Rowley, rather a nice little scherzo, and here it is.